What's going on, guys? We're live, by the way, so please stop saying racial slurs. I'd really appreciate it. It's
Oh, you want me to stop now?
yeah, I would like you to cease.
I like literally can't stop. I don't
Can't stop, won't stop. Just like this show, which was now on number what, 94 something.
We're on a number.
Let me check the rundowns. Yeah, number
Of all the shows we've ever done, it's definitely one of
94.
them.
What?
Of all
Oh,
the shows we have ever done, this is one of them.
what? This is gonna be the best one.
Is that
Well,
right?
you-
You're calling it? You're calling your shot.
I'm
if
calm.
we're on a number, we're on one.
I'm literally looking at the rundown right now, and like it's banger after banger after banger.
Is that right?
Yeah. Bro, is that right? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, hey guys, how are we doing? We doing good?
I'm always great.
Prude, how you doing? You specifically.
I mean, I'm eating pizza, so.
Because you and me are gonna have a little conversation after the show.
Are we?
Yeah, we're gonna have a. You and I need to discuss some things.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
Well, now I'm worrying about it.
Don't worry
'cause
about it.
you know-
Don't worry about it.
See, here's the thing. If you don't want people to worry about things, just until it's time.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just there might have been a bit that maybe you started me in, maybe you got me involved in, and I didn't know.
Oh, you mean the one where I tried to sell?
We'll talk about it after the show. So
Pretty good bit actually.
It was,
funny.
but it was really funny. However, that's one of those things that maybe give the old boy a heads up. Maybe you shoot off that quick edit in the White House Discord, the private one, where we can coordinate such things, and I don't have to go in blind to these things.
Oh, you gotta keep you on your toes.
Sure, and I am a master ad-libber. I am a master ad-libber.
Is
But
that what we're, hold on. Is that what we're calling this Discord now? Is a private one?
no. The one
The other one.
when we coordinate the show and stuff and talk about
I
actual
was gonna
white.
say, 'cause this one ain't so private.
No, this is wide open. But we
that.
mean the coordinating, the company Discord.
I had to pause when I noticed something while we were just babbling about wrestling in the
Yeah.
chat channel. I was like, wait, who's?
Yeah, it's fine. We're not addressing it right now though. But you know we are addressing.
I figured he had been vetted.
We're discussing the show, which I don't know if y'all know,
Big show?
the big bad show now. Big hell. Tim knows what I'm talking about.
I got you. I
Big
internally
bad
thought.
show now.
Is that right?
Yeah, now he's Paul White, which I think is a terrible name. I mean, I know it's his real name, but
All white.
White. Yeah, that's
Paul
Jared.
White.
That's Jared Taylor on the announce desk, and out here comes
Remember when he
Paul
spelled it?
White.
Remember when he spelled it W-I-G-H-T for a minute?
Remember when he had hair?
Yeah.
No, actually, yes. The
Kinda, yeah.
WCW days.
Remember when he used to do like moonsault frog splashes?
Dude, Big Show
Ace.
/ Paul White was / The Giant was ridiculous.
He was a specimen, and I mean
think
that
he-
literally in the nicest way.
And I think he just turned heel again.
Oh, based.
And now he's a babyface again. Yeah, that's just a thing with him. He's got more heel turns than like anyone ever.
Yeah.
He would just randomly turn heel for no reason whatsoever.
Hey, honestly, based. You know,
Yeah, I mean, just do it.
Devin doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
No,
Devin is oblivious. What you eating, Devin?
I said
He
pizza.
told you.
I wasn't listening. I don't listen to a word he says.
Maybe you should.
Well,
maybe then you'd get
Why?
the bits.
Why should I listen to
Right.
him? What has he
Yeah,
said?
maybe I told you about the bit that you're complaining about, but you didn't listen.
Well, I mean, we have
He's got a
it
point.
literally happened like less than 24 hours ago, and we haven't been in voice since then.
You don't know that.
Yeah, but what if he like
I'm pretty
told
sure
you
we have.
before then? No, I mean, are you?
Because
Are
I was,
you super sure?
yeah, I'm 100%. Because I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean last night. It's called a tease,
Is that right?
and I
What
was
are we teasing?
my Pirates of the Caribbean review.
You were teasing yourself to Keira Knightley, I understand.
Bruh.
Oh, get his ass.
That's cold, man. Y'all know me better than that. Come on now. Come on now.
Is that right?
Well, listen, let's talk about something we all lust over, though. Food. We got any big food announcements? We're probably gonna let Tim go last because he'll probably parlay it into a Detroit thing.
Well, yeah, I've got a little bit of a Michigan bit to go on. I've got
yeah.
a tangent to go on today.
Okay, so let me start off. Nothing too interesting.
I come bearing content today. I was gone last week.
Yeah,
I come back, I bring content.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll start off then, and we'll let the duo go, and then we'll go to Timmy boy. Not much from me.
You ever call me that again? I swear to God, I'm gonna come to Mississippi and beat the fucking brakes off your ass.
Timmy boy? You don't like that one?
Yeah, a little triggered.
All right, writing that one down.
I don't honestly give a shit. It was just a bit.
Had a Pasquale's salad Saturday.
Hold on, what salad?
Pasquale's. Local Italian bar? We talked about this.
What? Not the where.
Pasquale's.
You called it something. It sounded like a ham salad. I thought. What word did I miss there?
I was doing Pasquale's.
Oh.
I was doing a bit. It's called a bit. Keep up.
It's not one of your bits.
We apparently are. We are kind of hot on the bits lately. So.
Pasquale's. Look at it. Look at that name and tell me you don't want to pronounce it that way.
I don't want to pronounce it that way.
I don't want to pronounce it that way. I hate it.
Yeah.
Man, all right, whatever. I went there and I got a salad because here's the rub. All right, Saturday went to a rummage sale. It was real bad. Maybe the worst rummage sale I've been to in my entire life. Like, y'all remember that that meme from a couple of years ago where they had that like furry con or like My Little Pony con with the infamous ball pit? Remember?
No, I feel like that's a memory I would purge.
What's that, Tony?
Wasn't it like VidCon?
Something like that. I thought it was a My Little Pony thing or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah,
no, DashCon.
DashCon. That was it. Okay. What's DashCon? Oh, primarily by the users of Tumblr. Okay, maybe that's why I thought it was a My Little Pony
My
thing.
Little Pony related. That's valid.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was essentially like this. This is essentially what was going on, right? It was just like a couple of tables full of just absolute shit. Man, that's still the funniest thing.
That's kind of horrifying.
This is still the funniest thing ever.
This reminds me of something we didn't talk about last week, which was the Willy Wonka experience thing. Kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah. That's so
We
funny.
were talking about that in my church group tonight.
The Willy Wonka experience?
Willy Wonka experience, yeah, that was
okay. All right, why not? Anyway, it sucked. I went to a warehouse sale. It was very nice. Regret not buying some surplus furniture that they had taken out of the Ritz-Carlton in New Orleans. That's on me though. I'm gonna have to live with that all my life. It's fine.
You really are. That's a big mistake.
I dropped the ball. I realized.
That's a bag fumble.
Yeah, I fumbled the bag really hard. In my defense, I was hungry and I wanted to go home and eat. So.
Oh, big of be eaten.
Yeah. Went downtown Saturday night, did a little shooting, not going to show it, kind of sucked. But then, all right, so I did that, and this is going to be another tease. Done with it. And I'm thinking, I got an hour or so to kill before I go see the movie. Right. So I could go over and
The movie.
The movie, which there will be a full review of here later in the show. So stick around. So I was like, all right, what do I want to do? And I'm like, all right, Macca's. I'll get some chicken nuggets. I'm like, nah, I'm a little bit okay. So go and downtown, Popeyes right next to the McDonald's. I go, okay, I'm going to do Popeyes. I'm going to do that 3-piece, right? And they go, no, let me just do the Old Faithful and go Taco Bell. Because it's just right, it's just like a block or two over. I get over to the main road in town. And I go, you know, Pasquale's is just right there, and I could because I'm on my health bullshit. Boys, I forget to inform y'all, I am fully back on the health bullshit right now. Okay, fully. So I go over, I get the salad, and it's pretty good. I keep it under $10. I keep it under £1. We're doing good. Their lettuce still sucks. Shout out, it is still yellow as shit. Absolute shout out. Fix it up and everything. I get up to the thing and the lady's like, You want a bag? It's like, no, man, I'm about to go eat this in my truck like a fucking slob. I don't need a bag. No, thank you. Which I do. I went and ate the salad in the mall parking lot like a fucking slob.
Kind of based, though.
It was a little based. It was a little based.
It would have been less messy if you just made it a hood meal. But
Okay, first off, the wind was blowing really hard and it was very cold. And I also our mall is in the hood, more or less. So you don't.
That's why it's you
don't eat a hood meal. Also, I have a big ass truck. I can't eat on my hood. It's too tall.
Skill issue.
the hood is the best place to have a hood meal. I don't know
Listen, whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. All right. It was good, but that's about the extent of my food stuff. And it's going to get real slim here for me for a while. Like, my segment on the food is going to be pretty slim. I can bring this to the table, boys. We like trying different things around here. I tried some sparkling ice Starburst flavor water drink. And let me tell y'all, here, let me look this up real quick. It was actually pretty
all right.
Actually really good. Like, if I'm being honest, it was actually, there we go, yeah. I tried, of course, the two best flavors, as everyone knows, orange and cherry, and they were so good. They were delicious. I'm gonna go back and get a little bit more. I'll probably try the other two this time, but like sparkling ice, I don't super duper love sparkling ice. Like, I don't like fizzy water. I think fizzy water is stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm anti fizzy water. But the regular flavors of sparkling ice, I don't really think are like that good. Let me see what their classics are. Yeah, black raspberries ass. Yeah, all these are, the cherry limeade was okay. That was their best one, I think.
Like cherry, and it's okay.
Yeah, and I think I had orange mango as well, and it's not bad. But I just don't like the harshness of the, carbonation or whatever. I just don't like it. But
that's the main appeal.
I'm just not a bubbly guy.
Well, is this one of those drinks that kind of came out during the whole like seltzer slop craze?
No, I think this precedes it a little bit.
Wasn't sparkling ice around like decades or something?
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
Well, so are you.
I don't get his ass. I don't remember seeing it until
Nope. Sorry, we established earlier this evening that I'm actually rather young.
that show didn't happen.
That well,
Some would even say that he's an eligible bachelor. Not me, but some would say.
who would say that?
I don't know. Some people would say.
I don't think anyone would say that. Let's move on from that. So
Well, some might.
let's
I think
no.
some nice elderly ladies at your church might say that.
That is actually disturbingly true. That is actually disturbingly true. Yeah, they have literally almost verbatim said that. So let's definitely move on.
1992, by the way, when Sparkling Ice began production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it around the time
I was
in
a big
school,
fan back
I
in the
don't
day
have any memories
of
of it until like 2 years ago. Weird.
was it called Fruit 2.0. Bro, back in the day, I could throw these motherfuckers back. Y'all hear me? The grape one? Because these were perfect because they weren't bubbly.
Hey, you big into that grape drink?
Bro. What's the Kroger grape soda? Come on. What is their brand? Don't give me just like generic one. Okay. Big K grape soda. Holy shit, brother. I could put away a full 12 pack of these. Would I go into diabetic shock? Yes. Because one of these is 200.
That's why you get the
Holy shit.
get the zero sugar.
One of these is 220 calories. What the 53 grams of sugar? What
Kind of
the
impressive,
fuck?
not gonna lie.
That's 100% of your daily sugar intake. Oh my god, these are delicious though. You used to call these belly washers back in the day, and I know we had a whole conversation about this once.
Yeah, it will make sense.
But that's just it's a southern colloquialism. Just run with it.
Yeah, no, belly washers, that was a thing.
Yeah. So, Fruit 2.0, it was a much more mellow flavor. It was like water with that little hint of flavor, and it was pretty good. So, I was more of a fan of this, but neither here nor there. Hey, Tony and Devin, what'd y'all do this week?
Oh, speaking of flavored water, I have a peach flavored clear American water here. Clear American being a flavored sparkling water brand, you can get at Walmart for like 76 cents each. For like they're all like 1 liter, pretty good. But no, what did we do this week? Well, okay.
The only actual food we went out for was, well, I guess you went out for the Wendy's, which I don't know if you want to go through that.
Ooh,
first.
Well, no, probably should, because it was a little bit of a
this is a
little bit of
tale.
a rough night.
This is a tale.
Because I thought about doing like a late night Wendy's, which I've done before. Arriving pretty close to closing time. Usually works out. Usually they just still do a good job even near close. Like usually the food's still pretty good. This time I'd placed my mobile order. I arrive at the store and like I'm like at the window by the time it's like 10 minutes before they close, which again has never been. I've been there like 5 minutes before they close. Hasn't been a problem. But then after waiting at the window for a minute, like some girl who was actually very cute, I will say. And I don't.
Oh, wow, the Wendy's lady arc.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a Zaxby's situation. I think she was.
Okay, so this woman was 100% legal.
Sure, yeah. Well, the other one I never really remarked upon as being cute. That was somebody else's idea. But
hold on. Was it Zaxby's or was it Taco Bell that had the one of questionable legality?
It was Zaxby's. It was Zaxby's.
Okay.
That was his first week or two being in Maryville.
Yeah, when he was like first year. I thought that was a Taco Bell.
No.
I was making that up.
We're gonna talk about Taco Bell tonight too, though. But
yeah. You and I both have something to say there.
Yeah. So, going to Wendy's, pretty big order. Yeah, a girl comes to the window. She's like, and she does have a nice accent, a sweet little accent, and she's like, I'm not gonna try to replicate it because I'm bad at
Thank
that.
you.
But
Thanks. Yeah, please.
I mean,
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
We ain't got your Wendy's.
You're making her sound black. She was blonde.
Well,
but,
you're in the South.
I mean, I could bring out Trayvon if you want.
And what's wrong with that, Devin? What's wrong with the black girl?
Nothing. I mean,
that's what I thought.
If black girls were as cute as this girl was, then I wouldn't
fucking cracker.
Anyways, they had like a different. They had a new window on,
probably,
or a new manager on that night. And apparently that manager decided to start closing down early. Which is fucking retarded because your hours are fucking till 1 a.m. You start closing after you like the process happens after you close.
Right.
Until your store is closed, you remain capable of providing service.
Listen, as a former fast food worker, your manager says let's shut the store down early. You don't say no.
I know. But my point is, it's annoying because you place an order on the app, the store doesn't have the control to really refund it then and there. They just can't like finish it or whatever. And the whole thing was like there was already like chemicals on the grill and stuff, and apparently they had none of the stuff pre-made. They apparently already assembled their frosty machine, so I couldn't even get that. So ultimately what happened was I kind of like complained a little bit. I was like, well, this is gonna be a pain in the ass because I just know it's gonna be a pain in the ass. I have to like go online and contact corporate myself for a fucking refund. It's annoying, and my whole thing is like, if I have to go do that sort of effort because of you guys fucking up, I need to get something for free. So I got 3 cookies for free. They weren't even good. I got 1 oatmeal cookie.
The oatmeal raisin was pretty good.
Yeah, you like that? Because I didn't like it. I thought it was shit, but
big oatmeal raisin guy.
Yeah, I hate oatmeal. So that, and then the other 2 were fucking sugar cookies, which I both ate, but I would have appreciated at least a chocolate chip if I'm getting consolation cookies, which they're probably out of too. But yeah, it's just annoying. I actually need to check if I even got my refund yet because it's taken a bit long if I haven't. But if they don't, I'm just gonna fucking charge back on my card. Fuck them. But so after that, I decided, okay, I need to go somewhere else. I was considering Cookout, but I didn't go because it's like further out, and I realized that I had free items I had to use up at Taco Bell before they like expired or whatever. So went to Taco Bell. Of course, the issues there were, well, for one, they have like a troon that works at the window there, and
I've seen.
Yeah, it's not great. And they like don't make the barest effort to like they don't. It's just like a fully masculine man who's just doing like a woman voice too. It's really stupid. But then on top of that, the crunchy tacos were probably the soggiest crunchy tacos I've ever gotten from a Taco Bell. So that was disappointing because like if nothing else, I want my tacos to be crunchy at Taco Bell.
Right.
So yeah, that was a bust. but whatever, I ate it. But you know, I would have appreciated just having the Wendy's. You know, I just would have liked to have the Wendy's. Now, I hear in response to having no Wendy's the next day, you chose to go get something else, right?
I did. So I had no Wendy's. I had no Biggie Burger or Biggie Bag. I'm upset about it. And so I personally hadn't been out for food in over a week at this point. So I went to the local Marco's, the Marcus, some call it, and I got some pizza.
Mm.
And I ate said pizza. It was a good time.
No, it's good. It's good pizza. I think that this occasion was actually better than the first time we went back since they reopened, because this is the second time, and the first time I felt like it was good, but I feel like the first time they were a little bit off their game, and my pizza ended up too greasy for comfort. Like it's like greased up enough that it like kind of impacted texture a little bit, like it was a little sogged up or something. But this time it's
Never
more,
want to be sogged up.
yeah. This time it was more respectable. So yeah, good pizza. There's rumors maybe soon I make brownies. Maybe we'll see.
Oh, that's a big rumor.
Hmm. Oh, something else that I don't think I talked about last week is I tried was it Turkey Hill ice cream? I don't think I talked about it last week. Maybe I did. I might have. I don't know. It was good. Brief little review.
Yeah?
It was good. Yeah, I like that peanut butter chocolate flavor. Really good. But yeah, that's about it for us this week, huh? Or
Yeah, so it was not an eventful week for us.
all right, Tim, what do you have?
Okay, so we had the Michigan experience past week.
Right.
Learned a little something about good old Henry Ford. This dude, back before it was quote unquote cool, was obsessed with soy.
Really?
Learned that from the people who were in charge of restoring his estate. Henry Ford was a big soybeans guy.
So Henry Ford was a soy boy?
Are we sure this isn't revisionist history?
No, this is from the family historians. Like, this is no bullshit. These are people who work for the Henry Ford nonprofit.
I see.
Listen, I've heard a thing or two about non-profits, but that's fine.
So this is the nonprofit that, because he gave his house, like after he passed away, he willed his house essentially to the University of Michigan Dearborn campus.
Ugh.
Tough scene.
They of course did what Michigan does and promptly destroyed the house.
Sure.
Basically just turned it into a giant frat house and they fucked it all up.
Sure.
The nonprofit buys the house back from the University of Michigan and starts the restoration process, right? So that's the brief history of what happened with Henry and Clara Ford's estate. But yeah, I started noticing this with this meeting that I was in, because we had catered breakfasts, lunches, and in some cases dinners, depending on where we were at. And
Gotta be careful with the noticing.
So I tried Michigan's attempt at Mexican food.
Based?
So the primary ingredient in the ground beef for the tacos, aside from beef, what was behind the first comma?
Gotta be cumin, right?
It was soy.
Huh.
Not unheard of. Some places use it as filler, but
Pulled chicken for the tacos. Second ingredient behind chicken.
Cumin.
Soy.
Oh, So notes in a trend here.
Just everything contained soy, and I was starting to wonder. I just finally asked him. I was like, "Is this a tribute to Henry Ford himself and his dietary habits as to why y'all have soy in every freaking thing you're serving here?"
Yeah.
And they would not give me a straight answer.
Well, yeah, because they have so much soy. Can't give you a straight answer.
That was just something I did not know. It blew my mind, if I'm being completely honest. But did have some. The hotel there had a really, really nice restaurant. Had some. I can't remember the name of the pasta, but it was like the fanciest version of Hamburger Helper you could imagine. Like, instead of hamburger meat, it had sirloin steak.
Nice.
Chopped up this nice, like a brown sauce, nice mushroom pasta.
That sounds good, though.
Flat noodles and all that. It was very tasty.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Split a couple of crab cakes up there. The crab cakes were delicious, very good. They had my dad ordered some kind of nut appetizer.
Right.
Yeah.
It was assorted nuts was the way it was presented. So he's just thinking they're going to bring it out some nuts in a bowl, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So they bring out this stoneware container full of these nuts. And these nuts have been these nuts have been heated, salted. They've got some kind of brown sugar reduction that they've been done in.
But I'd like some brown sugar on my nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Is that right?
Let's fucking go.
This shit was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised at they try so hard in Michigan to do all kinds of different types of food, and they do a really, really kind of poor imitation of all of it.
Tracks.
Kind of based.
Just like they do a poor imitation of college football.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did
They did cheat their way to a natty.
walking trip to Benihana. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to a Benihana.
Have not.
I have.
I know what it is.
Pretty
Yeah,
good
I mean,
stuff.
it's
Pretty good stuff.
nice.
Got a. I went there with one of the guys from the meeting or whatever, and we just did an assortment of sushi. We just loaded the wagon
Hmm.
and just pigged out on sushi. This guy was half drunk, so he insisted on paying for everything, and insisted he was
Thanks.
trying to show me how much money he had. So I was all the willing to let him.
Oh
do
yeah.
that.
When a guy wants to flex, you step back and you go,
Absolutely,
Sir.
I have not.
The
I've
floor
not had
is-
any eat with him.
the floor is yours.
Absolutely. So he took advantage of all that shit.
Sure. As you should.
He had some kind of sushi roll with I don't know if it was grilled or if it was tempura fried, but it had a lotus flower.
Ooh.
That was different.
Ew.
It kind of tastes like I don't know if any of you have ever had Devin is probably my most likely candidate here. Have you ever had jicama root before?
Yeah, I've had it.
I figured it kind of tastes like that.
Mhm.
Meaning it doesn't really taste like anything except whatever you dip it in or surround it with.
Very, very neutral. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a yucca or whatever it's called.
Yucca.
Yucca.
Yeah, because it's gross. Nice.
That's the sound Tony would make if he tried it.
Yeah, I can't see Tony being a big sushi guy.
Fair, and that's
This is
fair.
disgusting.
It's literally raw fish.
Even if it was the fried kind though. I couldn't see him doing tempura.
Yeah, because I've had sushi rolls where inside of it is like fried shrimp or even like just cooked chicken, like just like almost like teriyaki chicken in the sushi roll.
Why?
It's because these
That's not
places
is
offer
that
it
even
for baby
sushi
back
anymore?
fishes. Yeah, well, it's because it's still a roll. It still has all the
Oh, I
other
see.
ingredients. It's just that there's a cooked. I mean, so tempura shrimp is a pretty classic filling. That's not in question. But the chicken and stuff, and there's probably like steak ones out there. I'm just saying they can get pretty crazy with it. It's not authentic, but it's good. Probably better, honestly. But
How do we feel about the imitation crab?
I like it.
I've got no opinion. Sounds
No
gross.
opinion. Never tried it.
Hard pass.
I mean, imitation crab is one of the greats of like cheaper rolls alongside like just the the finely minced like spicy tuna. You know, it's basically I think just the tuna scraps with the spicy sauce. Like,
It's usually just whitefish or pollock or something like
Yeah.
that. But so they call it crab with a K at Benihana. They call it, and they make sure to put their trademark on it.
yeah.
Like, we have a special name for our imitation crab. It's crab with a K.
Based?
I don't know how I felt about that.
I've seen it done that way, but I don't think other places have the same trademark. But
I'm trying to think of what else. Because they kept insisting on they kept bringing out these soups, so that they were putting high pressure on us to get the soup anywhere we went in Michigan.
no, big soup guys in Michigan.
Big soy based soup guys in Michigan.
Ugh, nasty.
When I tell you everything was packed to the hilt with soy.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It made me wonder because it runs counter to everything that I knew about Henry Ford prior to this visit.
Right.
Right.
I heard he was I'm not going to say he was full blown like Austrian painter enjoyer.
Well, I was gonna say, not a big fan of them old boys.
Yeah, he was not a fan of them boys.
No.
I think he was playing both sides to see who came out on top. Ultimate
Which
capitalist.
I mean, honestly, based,
kind of based, but
very based.
he was definitely he was obviously the arsenal of democracy was the big thing where they like manufactured shitload of tanks and weapons and all that, but he was definitely shipping some shit overseas too.
Oh yeah. In the early days.
But all in all, a decent trip. I took some decent photos. I know Tay saw some of the photos I took.
I did. They were quite good.
Which kind of brought me to a discussion point that we had earlier that I thought maybe we might visit that tonight if we have time.
Actually, let's go ahead and launch right into it. I think we got plenty of time tonight.
So the point that I made was I actually caught myself as I was trying to take photos and dodging these idiots kept getting in my way and all that. Because people will fuck up a cell phone photo easily.
Oh, easily.
So I just kept thinking to myself, like, damn, I kind of wish I had a real camera.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
And that, well, I used to have one, like, way back when. We're talking probably 15, 16 years ago. And the phone...
Sometimes you used to be straight.
Yeah, well, many such cases. But the improvements of cell phone cameras kind of killed that in a lot of different ways, right? Like, it became no longer practical to carry it around with me if I was going on a trip or what have you. But I feel like we've kind of gotten the form factors on cameras have gotten good enough now to where you could really make an argument for bringing a camera with you on a trip.
Sure.
Even if you're not like a professional photographer, so that you can take some actual decent.
Yeah, I mean, they don't got cameras don't got to be that big.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting there thinking, like, damn, I could have taken some way better photos and have some good memories that I'll remember for a nice long time until I die.
Oh yeah.
From old age.
Right. It's a very real risk these days.
Well, we do have a blood pact rule though. Like Taylor's not allowed to die before me. So,
well, I'm never gonna die, so that's pretty safe bet.
Well, I guess that's fortunate for you both then.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not allowed to die before him. I don't. Either way.
Well, either way, it's good for you because I'm never dying. So if that's the case, you're never dying too. So high five, bud.
So my question then becomes because I actually caught myself. I was sitting in the hotel room and I was scrolling up the photography channel in the Discord, right?
Sure. Yeah. Some banger post in that channel, by the way.
I was trying to glean some useful intel for myself.
Okay.
Maybe some things I can put a pin in for later.
Sure.
Right.
And then I noticed that y'all are linking every now and then. I'm reading between the lines, trying to figure out what you're linking as far as cameras and the interesting stuff like that.
Yeah.
And y'all are linking some
bunch of gay stuff.
We're talking some 2K plus.
Well, yeah, the stuff we link though, it's like dream products. It's not, it's not entry level.
Previous point about a little too much gear fagging. If we're being honest.
Well, okay, but as professionals, asterisk, right? We crave the best, right?
Right.
For ourselves and for our future.
This is kind of, to put it lightly, this is our job, air quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wish y'all turned it into.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Genius takes time. Okay.
It does. Yeah.
Right. Well.
Simmer down there, Wish.com, Ansel Adams. I'm just.
Ansel Adams wishes he was as good as I am.
So.
Right. We're gonna make it big before then. Don't worry.
That I pose for the committee.
Yeah.
Is if somebody was wanting to get something decent enough to take some good shots,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't going to go full on spur lord into this and spend like $10,000 on a full blown setup,
right?
Yeah.
Where does somebody even start?
Like a Q2.
Well, no, don't even look at the Leica Q2. That'll turn you off.
Like a Q2.
No. What you want? I was gonna say.
Looking in side chat for some links or
here. I'm linking used models. The new's not that more expensive, but I feel like probably one of the most complete packages out there right now would be the Fujifilm XS10.
Okay, I saw this one.
Yeah, it's fairly small for a body that has a centered EVF.
Well, see, I was gonna go rangefinder.
You could go rangefinder if you're.
I think because so let me ask you this, Tim. I feel like if yours is very casual shooting, you are going to be aiming then for a little bit more in the way of form factor, right? You maybe want something that can maybe even slip into a pocket.
I think form factor is important. Yes.
Okay. Well, I will say this: most interchangeable rangefinders, especially with a good lens on them, won't fit into a pocket. Like that's the problem. Like the reason why I like rangefinders is for fitting them into bags, but I know they won't fit into my pockets. And the other problem that we run into here is there's actually surprisingly few full featured, like up to date rangefinders on the market. the Sony A7C, for example, significantly more expensive than the XS10. Or let's see, what else is there even on the market? I guess there's the APS-C versions from Sony, but those are also pound for pound.
That's
like,
weird because I
feature-wise.
see a 47.3 megapixel rangefinder right here.
Yeah, you're talking about the Leica Q2, right?
Oh, am I? That's strange, huh?
Right.
That's
yeah.
wild.
See, well, first of all, if he really was gonna spend that the kind of money, he should upgrade himself to the Leica Q3 for one. Okay, so
I'm hearing a whole lot of gear fagging and not seeing a lot of links here, boys.
well, I
Well,
linked.
I'm just doing a
No,
bit.
I
I'm just
linked.
doing a
I
bit.
linked an MPB entry for the XS10. I mean, you can buy this new, but it's like they have a lot of like new options. For a
Did I
little
really
less.
just misspell Leica live on television?
No. So the reason why
Shit, it's $4,600.
yeah, dude, like so
Sorry,
one reason why
it was that
I would
expensive.
suggest the XS series, right, is because being in Fuji, they have a very good JPEG engine for people who don't want, because I take it you don't want to get super into post processing, do you? Or
Well, I don't know.
okay, well you'd have the
Yeah,
option of both.
let's put it this way: you don't want to. I don't think that's your bag.
There, right? Like you got to get the camera before kind of worrying about. What
Right, but you want to take the picture and you want to be able to take the picture out and share it, right?
Right.
You don't
So,
want to
so
dump
here's-
it into Darktable. Well, first off, you don't want to learn Darktable.
Right.
You don't want to dump it into you just want to you want to snap, share.
Well, I will say this, right?
Pop.
You have some interesting options with Fuji, right? Because it has a good JPEG engine, you could just use the straight up camera JPEGs, which are heavily customizable to your preference. You can also still shoot in RAW at the same time if you want to have a copy backed up for manual editing down the line. You can also reprocess the RAW with the in-camera parameters if you don't want to learn a separate post-processing program, which is cool too. So, that's a new XS10. And it's not the cheapest on Fuji's website, but yeah. So, I was saying though is like it gives you some flexibility for your look. You know, the look you'll get out of camera. Generally, Fuji's JPEG engine is considered good. It's also a fairly compact system. To go up to full frame with equivalent specs, I think in this case you're going to be spending like about double for the body, which seems like kind of untenable given your budget preferences here.
Well,
So-
I just don't know how many people are going to jump into something or even tiptoe into something at the $2,000 mark. Even the $1,000 mark's pushing it if we're being completely honest.
yeah, well, and so of course with the XS10, for example, say you drop $730 on a like new used body, right? Then you can get, let's see what they have for used zooms. Because I also have a feeling that, at least as somebody new to using or like not new, but like, not as versed in using a dedicated camera or whatever, that you'd probably prefer to have a zoom compared to a prime.
I don't know.
The difference being that a zoom, of course, zooms. You have different focal lengths, different fields of view. A prime is refined or like confined to one field of view.
Well, you know how I feel about zoomers.
Right.
That's a good point.
So, let's see. Is this on sale?
Let's see.
Well, anyways, I would heavily recommend as a lens pairing. I really like the 18-50 Sigma 2.8. It's new. It's like 500. You can get used a little bit less, but all in that would make the whole system, like for the body and the lens, like 1200. Which
So you're in for $1,000 to $1,200 for an entry level setup, is what you're telling me.
yeah, basically, like I could go a little bit cheaper, but you start sacrificing really nice features at that point. Like any cheaper lens is going to be a prime or a worse quality zoom. Any cheaper body is going to probably lack things like it's not going to have the JPEG processing if you want to still have things like
Is this 1855 28-4? Is that their kit lens?
for the Fuji.
Yeah. Oh, that's for APS-C.
Well, but Fuji is APS-C, so.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's my point here. Is like, if he's trying to go full frame, he's going to spend more money and
That's
have a
true.
bigger
That's true.
setup.
That's true.
I mean, I get good results with Fuji.
I think this might be their kit lens. It
No,
looks
is.
kit. Oh, okay,
it is.
okay.
It's considered a pretty good kit lens, but the problem is that it's like barely any cheaper than the Sigma 18 to 50, which is a constant 2.8.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's actually kind of bullshit then.
Yeah. Like it's just Fuji first party lenses are a little expensive, but Sigma's got, the clutch third party option here. And that's the zoom I've used, and I've been happy with it, throughout my trips lately. So yeah, 1,200 probably for that setup. And then the other consideration is how would you transport it? If you're carrying it on a particular day.
And you are just really wanting to talk bags, aren't you?
I
This
knew that was coming.
Just gets you all kinds of hard.
Hey, it's like it's in sales, it's like an upselling opportunity. We gotta talk about accessories, right?
In reality, though, I would probably, like, if you're just doing like day shooting, honestly, a sling bag is really all you need.
No, I mean, well, for this setup, the XS10 here. Let me demonstrate this for Tay.
What are we doing?
I don't know. He's doing some shit.
I'm doing a size comparison. Hold on.
I got a size comparison for you.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the site will not load. That's annoying.
I was thinking you were going to swerve me and bring our new Discord guest in there to talk.
Huh?
Swerve, bro.
Yeah.
Took his ass.
Is this a bit I'm not in on yet?
No, that's how Steve's in here. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he's actually looked at this Discord since joining, but that's
Hopefully
fine.
not.
He certainly never posted.
That's fine. He's an important guy.
He's an elusive.
Imagine joining a
elusive guy.
Discord and never posting. Like, what are you? 2/3 of Beefy Boys?
Yeah. What are you? 90% of wide boys? Hello.
Hello.
Well, that's so annoying. The usual site I would use to compare camera sizes is just not
working. Hates it.
Here's let's just catch image. I'm just gonna put it in the side chat here, just to demonstrate, like compared to what you're used to, Tay, because you use an S5 and the S5 II
big
is close
S5
enough in
guy,
size. Right? So that's the XS10 next to it, right? It's like a little guy.
Oh yeah, that's a little tiny guy there.
Yeah.
A little tiny guy. Yeah.
Right. So it's gonna be a little bit easier to carry. It's still got a
Holy
good grip.
Shit.
Though.
Now,
man, I mean,
Tim, I think there's an extra angle you haven't considered. Cameras are gay.
That feels like a cope.
Yeah.
That feels like a cope.
Right.
What I was gonna say, man, that picture really puts into perspective sensor difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Man, woof.
Well, and see, that's why APS-C still kind of exists, though. It's like,
yeah,
considering that for that level of miniaturization, you can just deal with one stop worst performance. Like at the end of the day, what's one stop?
Right.
What's one, and it's one of those things too. Like,
hey, what's a stop between friends?
Right. Exactly. Well, it's one of those things as well where, like, if you really need the performance, you could just get a really premium APS-C lens and it will match like a pretty good. Like there's the Viltrox 1.2 primes that are considered really good for Fuji mount. And it's like, a 1.2 prime basically becomes a 1.8 prime equivalent on full frame, and it's about, roughly the same size as some of those. So, and that makes up for the one-stop performance difference. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. We're here to just say that I think the Fuji XS10 is probably just the easy option here. There are a couple others. There's the Fuji XH1, but it's gonna be a little bit bigger, a little bit older, and it's not that much cheaper. Let's see. What's Canon doing these days? I don't like to recommend Canon, but if you're realistically probably only gonna have one lens, it's not the biggest deal.
If you don't like any of these options, there's always a little indie German company I could recommend to you.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make some pretty quality budget cameras. Yeah. If your
It's
budget is
just
$10,000.
such a web of compromises, right? Because like the second I look at these other brands, I'm like, okay, they might have some interesting options. Oh, but they're bigger, and they're still more
Right, but-
expensive.
You have to consider the context that it's Tim looking for it, not your autistic.
Right.
But he,
And
but he
get,
said
and get
form
this.
factor matters.
Hold on, and get this. Tim's a big guy.
No, that's for
Tim's
you,
a big
but-
guy. So we're not talking about little baby hands here, right?
No, but it's not about the baby hands. He said form factor is a consideration. He like
I've seen
it
this
sounded
dude
like,
crush a cantaloupe with one hand.
right, but
Okay,
it
so
sounded
keep
like
that
he
in
needs
mind.
something that was somewhat portable.
Well, let me clarify that because maybe this will help you. I think what I mean by that is not so much like it's got to be like teeny tiny fit in the palm of one hand, so much as I just don't like big, bulky, and clunky. I'm out.
Sure.
Sure. Let's see one.
I was just looking at this Fuji compact camera and it's $2,000.
Which one?
Well-
Which one are you looking at?
The
All right.
X100V.
Let me here.
X100,
hold on.
okay, so X100V. That's
Mhm.
that's a whole endeavor. Don't worry about that.
As soon as I saw the price, I wasn't worrying about it. I promise you.
It should be a lot less, but it's overpriced because of TikTok zoomers. That's all you gotta know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
TikTok Zoom.
Yeah. I
Let
mean,
me actually.
Well,
I'm gonna show him like how big my camera is, just to give him perspective.
right,
Let me.
because I posted
your
that
camera
comparison.
Yeah, I'm literally about to stream to Discord my camera.
Someone say he's
Okay,
camera
So-
on, mask off.
this is my camera, Tim.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it's a big boy. Now, well, hold on. Ignore the lens because
Right, because the lens is gonna misrepresent the size.
that is a
honestly.
massive fucking lens.
Yeah, that's a big. That's,
So like
Yeah,
this
it's
is
yeah.
this is my camera, right? So it's
Okay, I think I was trying to. I can't see the brand. I was looking at it earlier. This
he
was one that I picked up.
uses a Panasonic Lumix
Lumix,
camera.
yeah,
That's the S5.
I use a Lumix S5, which I am
Okay.
so happy with.
Yeah,
I feel like that's one that I looked at.
Yeah, but
it's a good camera, but
with the
you're gonna
lens though,
spend
it's
more-
it's a chunky boy. But
well, and you can get smaller lenses, but the problem is that then you're not getting as good of a lens too. So it's like
Okay, so the Lumix S5 is $2,000.
it shouldn't be. There's something
shouldn't
weird
be.
with the pricing. He got his for like 900 something. The problem was basically like something's going on with the pricing where they are suddenly charging more than they used to for them. I don't know why. Like let's see, a somewhat comparable camera would be like the Nikon Z5 for
and
example.
then
But
here,
that's,
this is. I know we probably wanted you to go like a zoom, right? But this is a prime lens.
right.
this
So
is-
you can get a small lens if you use a prime.
This
on
is
full
a
frame.
45 millimeter prime, which is a pretty decent like middle of the road thing.
Right.
You can shoot pretty much anything with that, and
Sure.
it's a tiny boy. I mean, like you can. It's
Oh, yeah,
not,
yeah,
It's not
that's-
big.
No, I mean, but if you want to, because that's a 45 2.8, right? You can get comparable primes that are small, like an f2 prime that's about the same size on Fuji, for example, and it'll have pound for pound same performance because it's a stop faster. So like, overall form factor for like sensor size, I wouldn't worry about too much. I think what matters here is probably just features, size, price for those qualities, and
let me tell you this: an S5 would pretty much future-proof you. That's all you as a hobbyist will ever need.
right. Well, so and I do agree that S5 is a good camera. You just have like severely limited lens options in comparison when you prioritize like compactness or whatever. And it's not like if you're willing to post process, the S5 is good, but just the sort of brainless Fuji JPEG engine is why I was also recommending that.
I got you. So you think the Fuji's more of a plug and play, whereas the
Yeah, I think it's more of just a casual camera. Like I recommended the S5 to Tay, knowing that he would do post processing. And the JPEG engine is not bad on the S5 either, but like
I think it's perfectly fine.
But I'm just saying that because you can go to websites and just get like fucking Fuji recipes, right, for film sims.
Here's the question, Tim: do you think you would ever do that?
as far as like post processing and stuff like
Well,
that.
it's in camera.
It's just you
processing.
plug in a couple settings in the camera and it applies it to every image you take.
Or would you
can
just
see
be
myself
happy
doing
enough
that.
of? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Then yeah.
Right.
Then
I'm a little bit of a tweaking guy. Like,
okay, well
I
there you
like to
go.
tweak.
There you go. Then you're
Yeah,
definitely
like I
a
mean,
Fuji guy.
it's a heavily tweakable engine.
Hey, he did
it's-
live in Tennessee for a while, so
I'm something of a tweaker.
It's
yeah.
also got the XS10 has pretty good video features. I mean, so does the S5. The XS10 will have better autofocus than because it has PDAF, which is the
So now,
Panasonic didn't.
the way that I go about this though is
Right.
I've been running a handful of business expenses through a certain card that I have.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So the company
Based.
reimburses said expenses, but I keep the points.
right.
So I've got a pretty good chunk of credit card reward points. So
Well, I
I'm
was
just-
actually going to say, if you want to tackle from that angle, you could maybe even try and like justify a nice camera purchase as a business expense.
Is this the next upsell?
Right.
I don't think my line of work is gonna. I don't think I can sneak that by the accounting.
You don't. I mean, okay, all right.
I'm not saying I couldn't. I'm just saying it would have.
I'm
to be,
saying with some creative work, right? Because you're selling something, right? Social media is a huge thing these days. I need a good camera,
Right.
right?
social media is big these days. Is that right?
Sure, why
Is that
not?
what we're going with?
Sure, why not? It's got video features. You could film some little tiki-takis there for your dealership.
True.
Well, it's funny because apparently
Is it funny?
the party line these days is that the tool that they're wanting everybody to use for this is the Meta glasses.
Huh?
Huh?
They're suggesting that that's what we should be filming our video with when we do presentations for customers is the Meta glasses.
What is a Meta glasses?
It's like the smart glasses, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the Meta, the company Zuckerberg.
Oh, and they're Ray-Ban. Oh, well now I'm torn. Now I'm torn. Meta smart glasses? Okay, not a fan. Ray-Bans though?
They aren't having you put on them Apple Vision Pro, record with that.
Yeah, they haven't quite made that demand yet. No.
Shit, I'd wear an Apple Vision Pro if it was given to me for free.
Yeah, but these damn people have gotten they're starting to smell themselves a little bit. They're like, yeah, this is going to take you to the next level. This is what you need to be doing.
what is their like rationale with that? Like, what do they think the benefit of using the glasses is for that
It's
particular test?
literally just another angle to shoot the video from, like when you're doing a video walk around for a customer and sending it to them remotely, because
Oh
they
my
still
God.
think that that's a big thing, even though it's been proven that it's really not.
Yeah, I would never just like look at a car through like a virtual tour and be like, oh yeah, that settles it.
Well, they're still in this whole. They think that remote delivery is like they're still in the COVID mindset.
But that's crazy, 'cause, like,
they still think that's how people want to. They still think that's how people want to buy a car.
even
Was it ever a way people wanted to buy cars?
Yeah,
No,
in
it was
COVID, that
a-
was just a waitlist thing, wasn't like it's just because you couldn't get the car otherwise. But like, I feel like even if I was gonna have it delivered to like my door as just like a convenience thing or whatever, I'd probably still check it out first in person, right? Like I would still do that,
Right.
But it's like how I go window shopping for stuff in stores in real life, and then I go buy it much cheaper online. It's like
Right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Although
oh,
you're not
hey,
probably getting it. You're not getting any cheaper.
brother, don't. Well, sometimes.
Well, I mean, for the car specifically, it's like,
Oh, well, yeah,
like a
no,
great,
sure.
you're not getting like a special like
Yeah, yeah.
Amazon discount on it,
Well, it's kind of like how you remember, and this is when we were all significantly younger.
Right.
The 30-minute oil change was the big thing that Jiffy Lube was
Mm.
advertising, right?
And by the
still
way,
go to
we're
Valvoline.
getting a Jiffy Lube here in town. Apparently, I don't know why, but
Well, like how many 30-minute oil changes do you really think Jiffy Lube does?
I'm gonna guess very few.
Virtually none, and the reason is because their business model is the upsell. It's the
Right.
inspection. Because the
Uh,
minute that you take something that they recommend you, your 30-minute oil change is out the window.
right.
You would basically have to go in there saying, I want nothing but an oil change, just the oil change. I'm not taking anything else. Don't even offer me anything else. I just want the oil change. That's
Right.
the only way you were in and out in 30 minutes.
Right.
But they marketed it so well that everybody started believing that your oil change should never take more than 30 minutes anywhere you go.
Right.
But people conflate that with your entire service visit should never take more than 30 minutes.
Right.
So
Which
it's
you
like, you
shouldn't
might be
be.
getting an oil change, but you also need brakes.
Sure.
And if you're there
Who
longer than
needs
30
brakes?
minutes, oh my God. Like the world's coming to an end because and it was all because of how Jiffy Lube marketed the 30-minute oil change. It was like the even older version of that was Domino's and Pizza Hut with the, Pizza delivered in 30 minutes, or it's free.
Based?
Before, I don't know how they did this, because this was before GPS navigation and all that. They busted out the Rand McNally Atlas, and they got you your damn pizza within 30 minutes when you ordered.
Right.
They did.
Now we've got all this navigation, and you basically just every idiot can plug in every address, and they still couldn't find their ass with a road map. When's the last time you got a food delivery on time?
Well, I don't deliver food. I live on a stick, so.
It's fair though. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the point here. Trying to corral us in. Yeah, I think Fuji probably is the one for you.
I struggle to think of a better value proposition right now that offers all the same features.
So the
like-
XS10 is the official recommendation of.
That's what I'm going to go with. I mean, I can give other recommendations if you're willing to go a little bit more up market, but I think at that price point, for example, like, because that's what I'm saying is with that, and then if you get the Sigma lens that I was recommending, which I think is a good choice because it's capable, it's fast, but it's small, and it's not too expensive. Like I said, 1,200 or so all in. Like that would be
fast and small. That's like the story of my sex life.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
All in, like AEW?
Yeah. Or like the all-in bundle at Wingstop.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even their best bundle, so.
That's true. Yeah. Well, let's not get into value maxing at Wingstop because that's a can of worms. But yeah. Like for example, a used Sony A6600 could be an option, but it's more expensive and it's a less ergonomic form factor. Sony's are uninspiring. Like I don't know. Like I don't know about that. There's the Canon R10, but it's a little bit more bulbous. Also more expensive. Yeah,
You're not a big Canon guy. You're not a fan of the Canon.
Look. I mean, I don't think
He's kind of a hater.
I don't think you'd be unhappy with the R10. It's just like more money for not better features is kind of a hard sell, right? Like.
Yeah, I'm tracking with you there.
And I also think it's a worse looking camera, which does matter. It does matter to have a cool looking camera.
That is true. That is unequivocally true.
Cool is definitely a thing.
Yes,
I understand.
Right.
Not even a joke.
Right. Like an R10. It looks like a Rebel that got like weight loss surgery, right? Whereas XS10 looks like kind of a modern but retro kind of type of thing. It's fun, it's sleek, it's the bitches like it, right? Like it's a different situation.
I mean, as long as the bitches like it,
right? Oh no, bitches love Fuji. I mean, that's why the X100 series is like fucking double the price it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could recommend here. It's like the main thing is anything that's cheaper won't have IBIS, and I think as a hobby shooter, you want IBIS.
IBIS being the software you were talking about.
IBIS is the in-body image stabilization, and what it does is it means that like the camera has a certain extra tolerance for shake, right?
Yeah,
like
the built-in stabilizer. I'm with you.
Right, which is like a pretty cool feature. Like it can save your neck sometimes,
Sure.
Like that's a feature that you'd be missing. A lot of these other systems don't have the JPEG engine.
Now, have we considered the angle that old Devin over here won't get on his knees because he doesn't want to get his pants dirty?
huh?
That's a fair thing to do.
Is this a true statement?
Okay,
Yeah,
when
we went out to the quarry and he was taking photos, he was trying to take low down photos, but he wouldn't like get down on his knees, so he's like really trying to bend over.
We were at the shoreline. We were at the shoreline, and it was muddy. I'm not gonna get my fucking pants muddy.
It was not muddy. It was gravel.
It was muddy.
So all I'm saying is a Biggo won't get a little bit of dirt on him for a photo.
If you ain't willing to get in the shit for the shot, are you really a photographer?
Well, sure. I'll come back with like waders, and I'll fucking get in the water.
Oh my god, pussy.
I'm gonna start packing a like plastic bag into my camera bag and using that as like a knee protector when I take a knee.
Jeez Louise.
What else can you do when you take a knee?
Yeah, get his ass. Yeah. Cook him.
Yeah, I thought you were going a whole different direction with the wouldn't get on his knees thing, but
Yeah.
you just went straight for the throat.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like I had to bring it up because
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I
No.
feel like that's kind of Californian of you.
Well,
How
I'm a more refined type of artist, right? I don't have to get on my knees for the shot.
Fartist.
Yeah, get his ass, cook him. Speaking of art,
Hang on. So you're saying not only would you not put yourself in danger for the shot, but you wouldn't even mildly inconvenience yourself for the shot?
I've mildly inconvenienced myself many times. I've gone off the beaten path for the shot. I'm just not going
I
to
feel
kneel
like getting a
for
little
it.
bit of dirt on your knees is mild inconvenience.
Yeah, I don't see. The thing is, I don't want to wash the pants, right? They're pants that I'd rather not have to wash.
I want to hit you in the head with a hammer.
How often do you wash your pants?
Well, I mean, that particular pair I don't wear all the time. When I do, at a reasonable interval. But lately, since I don't wear them that often, they go some wears without being washed. Now, if we're gonna get into the logistics of washing pants, I'll say this: like jeans and sturdier pants, my rule is basically don't wash them until they smell, like, because you don't want to wear those things out.
Y'all want to just move on?
No. Can we take a quick vote? Can we take a
quick vote? Who wants to just move on from us?
Because I feel like this is gonna be made out to be like, oh, proves a slob. It's like, no, every other article of clothing gets washed everywhere. It's just pants don't need to be washed everywhere, is all I'm saying. If you guys do, you're wasting water and you're wearing out your pants prematurely.
Anyway, so Akira Toriyama died. Pretty torn up about it. How about y'all?
He did.
He did.
He did die.
Y'all big Dragon Ball guys?
It was my opening window into that world. Was Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, that's the thing, and I think that's why, like, obviously, wouldn't really be talking about it otherwise, because random anime guy dies. It's like, oh no, boohoo. I'm not sure we even like addressed the Berserk guy dying when that happened.
Who's not seen a lot of Dragon Ball Z?
Who's that?
Stephen A. Smith. Did you hear how he pronounced Vegeta's name?
How did he say it?
What did he say? Vegeta?
Vegeta?
I'll find it. Hang on.
Okay. No, that actually tracks.
I saw this today and cringed out of my head.
But yeah, and I mean, we didn't mention the Berserk guy, but I mean, the thing about Akira Toriyama is I would wager there are very few young men around our age, let's say 20 to 40, pretty big age range, but 20 to 4-ish. You literally likened me to a 22-year-old earlier tonight, so we're not playing that.
Yeah,
anyway,
but a 22-year-old among 18-year-olds, so
sure, whatever that means. Anyway, I'll still take it. It's fine. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're more used to being
Appreciate.
like a 15-year-old.
What was that?
Nothing.
What was that? No. Want to run that one back? That's what I thought. Anyway, 20 to 40 years old. I think you would be hard-pressed to say Akira Toriyama's works were probably not your gateway into not only anime, but probably Japan in total. Right? Because I remember when I guess it would have been about 12. Yeah, because I think I was just in middle school. That was like back when Toonami was real big. Toonami came on like
70 years ago.
Yeah, that's the joke. Thanks, bud. Came on at like 3 to 5 or something. And I distinctly remember like eating supper and watching Dragon Ball Z, right? And I actually watched it in the living room with my parents, and my dad got very angry at it because he would always yell, and it's like, when are they just gonna fight? Right? Because it was the Frieza arc or the Namek arc or whatever it was, when he was going Super Saiyan, and like that's the infamous one where it literally takes like 7 episodes for him to transform. Right.
Oh god, I thought he and Frieza were never gonna fight. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's like, are you joking me? What is going on? Because it's like you were like, oh yeah, this is it. He's finally about to do it, and it's like next week on Dragon Ball Z, and god dang it, son of a bitch. So I mean, this is kind of big, and now he died of a brain bleed, that's not fun.
Yeah, hematoma.
Yeah, nobody wants that one, right? That's the silent killer.
Yeah, brain tumor.
Not on the list of ways you want to go.
Well, it wasn't brain tumor, it was just a brain bleed, I think.
It was a brain bleed, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, his assistant confirmed he had a brain tumor.
Oh.
Well, yeah, usually a hematoma would be caused by a tumor. That is.
Oh, okay. Well, that queers the pitch a little then, doesn't it?
So your Stephen A. Smith pronunciation video is in the side chat.
Okay, let's see how he.
You gotta play the.
Let's see how our boy pronounced this right here. Turn on desktop audio real here quick.
At EBSC 93 writes, who you taking in a 1 versus 1, Goku or Vegeta?
Vegeta, he says. Vegeta. Okay, well that's a way to pronounce that.
I just really like that he makes these videos with these.
I do too. You see the one of him talking about dropping in Fortnite?
Yep.
Choosing Tilted Towers, which is a goated pick, by the way.
And he actually takes Goku in the 1v1 because he doesn't like Vegeta's name. He just went all in on this.
That's true. And to be fair, Goku would win because Vegeta is kind of a jobber.
Yeah.
So, anyway, y'all big Dragon Quest guys?
No, not really.
I know me and Tony.
I tried to get into it.
Me and Tony went big in on 10, 12,
11.
11.
11 was the most recent one, right?
Yeah, 11 was. I'm still salty about 11 though because they released it, right? And then they released like the definitive edition a couple of years ago, but like as a whole new game, not as an upgrade, not as doing nothing, just a whole new fucking game. People who bought the original, fuck you. Kiss my ass.
Just got hosed, yeah.
Just got absolutely hosed. Because I'm pretty sure I paid full price for it. So
yeah, the definitive edition had like cool shit, like you could play it in a 2D mode. And it looked real better.
Yeah, a lot of really cool stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not doing it because I'm not paying full price again for a game I already own. So,
right.
And now he was working on something new. What was that? There was a game adaptation of one of his other series, like Sandman,
like some desert shit. Yeah, like sand something.
Yeah, the word sand was definitely in it. So I don't know if where that is, honestly, but man, what a blow. Honestly, because they were working on a new Dragon Ball series, I believe, as well. So I don't know where that is. I don't know if that's even going to happen anymore. Kind of depressing, honestly. Wish they'd taken.
Who was that big old jobber that came in with Vegeta when they first, was it Nappa? That's who it was.
Nappa. That's Goku's brother, right? I think. Is Nappa Goku's brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, what'd you say?
Which part?
Brother?
I'm pretty sure it's Goku's brother.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Character that died in about quarter.
No, Raditz was his older brother.
Raditz.
Yeah.
That was
Raditz
the other
one
one.
who came in with Vegeta.
Well, they both came in with Vegeta. Sorry, Vegeta. My bad.
Yeah, I think Nappa and Raditz were both characters in that early arc.
Yeah, because Raditz looks like him. Okay, Nappa was the big bald jobber.
Yeah.
He's the one who the It's Over 9,000 meme.
Right. Yeah, they traveled together.
That was like when I first ever started watching DBZ. It was during that whole saga when it was on Cartoon Network. With Nappa and Vegeta coming down, and 87 episodes before they actually do any fighting. And
Yamcha Jobs.
Yamcha Jobs out. Who's the other one? Tien's the other jobber.
Hey, I tell you what, Yamcha and Tien might have been jobbers, but they had a great work rate.
They did. They had really, really good work.
Yeah.
I was a big Yamcha guy.
Big Yamcha guy. I wanted to see him succeed, but didn't work
Tien
out.
got kind of a moment when there's that part where he's using his like fucking eye beam shit on a like cell, like half complete cell or whatever. He kind of got to like pin him down for a second, and like that was his coolest moment. But
Tien was a really solid mid-carder. Like really solid mid-carder. He was kind of the Was Tien the Dolph Ziggler of Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say about Tien, right? He has a third eye, so he's a little bit woke to things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to say Tien actually secured a pretty cute honey in Super.
His name means heaven in Chinese.
Yeah.
I hate China.
Who's he with in Super?
I'm pretty sure that there was like a little filler arc in Super, because like after he
Launch. Yeah, she's got like kind of like Daisy Dukes.
Was that it? Yeah, Launch girlfriend. Yeah.
No, if we're talking guys who glow it up though, I mean, Krillin with Android 18. I mean, talk about a guy who like punched above his weight, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Man, she was fine, dude.
Yeah, she's still by far, I think, the female character from that series I see the most fan art of at this point. So
easily. Because I feel like Bulma's like one of those things where like I think people are like almost too attached to her in a way that it's almost like she's not even sexy anymore, right?
Right.
But 18 literally was like designed.
Yeah, she is pretty much
literally designed. So, man, what a great series.
Speaking of Raditz, it does weird me out how like his story is literally he's fucking Goku's brother, right? He dies early on, and like I don't think they ever bring him back, which is like kind of unusual for a DBZ villain.
That is true,
He was the ultimate jobber.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just like
came in and got squashed.
We're talking about Raditz here.
Yeah.
They never brought him back.
Y'all talk. Hey, you know what? Expand on this for about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I just like.
So, y'all ever think about the fact that like every character is named after vegetables?
Well, yeah, or at least like food, right? In general, I guess it's mostly vegetables. Though, yeah, Raditz would be radish. Obviously, Nappa is referring to cabbage.
Was there a fascination there, or was it just like?
I think Toriyama just had kind of like a whimsical way of naming
He's just
things.
a silly little guy.
Yeah, he's hungry. But yeah, like I don't think in the main series that Raditz ever reappears.
Someone bring up the wiki.
I'm reading it, and like I'm trying to find. I think he gets like a couple cameos, I think, in the series, like in flashbacks or like alternate realities or something. But he doesn't like he doesn't get like a Frieza, like, oh, I'm like golden Raditz and I have like robot parts now. Like he doesn't get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy being the main character's brother. You think they'd do that more? He gets a Super Saiyan 3 form in a video game. That's cool.
Yeah, big video game guy. Big,
not real.
big
No,
DBZ fighting game guy.
Actually, the exact opposite of that. But yeah,
I tried to get into those Xenoverse games and I just couldn't.
I hate fighting games, so never gonna be me.
Well, the fact that like most like anime like adaptation fighting games too tend to be like these ones where it's like a lot of like cutscenes and then like the kind of like 3D fight arena type stuff. I don't like if I'm gonna play a fighting game, I like side scrolling ones. I don't want 3 dimensions.
3D pig, disgusting.
3D pig, disgusting.
Oh, that wasn't 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm a quick shot.
So Akira does have a successor. I just stumbled on this. Is it Toyotaru? Is that the name? Did I get that right?
Close enough.
Was that as like
Close.
assistant or something?
I'm just looking at the article. It says he is the author of the spin-off manga Dragon Ball Heroes Victory Mission, illustrator of Dragon Ball Super, and he is Akira Toriyama's chosen successor.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. There you go.
So
good hands then.
Born in '78.
Okay. Young whippersnapper.
Yeah, young buck.
No, those are they're middle-aged now, remember?
Oh yeah, those middle-aged bucks, yeah.
Well, I guess actually
they're probably
same age.
Than him, but not by much.
Yeah.
But he has a lot better hair.
Well, hey, the Japanese are pretty infamous having good hair.
No, this homeboy's got like AJ Styles level hair almost.
Hell yeah. They don't want none.
But he's got the AJ Styles haircut.
They don't want none.
Or the Japanese version of it.
All right.
Like almost thought it was a woman when the image was not zoomed.
Right.
No, I can see it, I guess. Like if you just glance it and kind of a foidy haircut.
Well,
yeah.
While we're talking about media, how y'all feel about me dropping one or two movie reviews real quick?
A mixtape? I'd love to drop your mixtape.
Yeah, what are some tracks from my mixtape, Tony?
Ooh. I don't think I'm allowed to say them on stream. If being real.
Give me
I'm
your
200%
best stream friendly version.
Basically, just
Homies
David
and
Allen
Laurel.
Coe's greatest hits.
Jesus.
Since it's Laurel hometown, homies and Laurel.
Okay, that's a pretty good one. Well, you know what else is in Laurel? There's a pretty nice theater. Apparently, I did not know this. So we're going to talk about going out's expensive these days, right? Like shit's it's crazy. It's crazy. Don't do a lot of it. Kind of a home guy. I got a pretty nice theater here at the house. Only problem is after COVID kind of started winding down. Nobody's really doing home like simul releases anymore. Like remember that little brief window where like it was like theater and streaming. Now it's like exclusively theater now. Like nobody does the streaming thing, which is fine to me. Yeah. It's fine. That's fine. It's fine. So I hadn't been to a theater in a hot minute, and I'd heard about these things. I said reclining seats, theater style, all this. Whatever. Hadn't really thought about it. So Dune 2 is in theaters, and I loved Dune. I loved the first Dune. I thought it was one of the better films I've seen, like recently released films.
The only Oon you love.
Yeah.
What did he mean by this?
What did he mean by that?
Because I love Kim Jong
You
Un.
like?
So
Big
already-
Supreme Leader guy.
yeah, big Supreme Leader guy. So I thought, hey, Dune. I like Dune. Great soundtrack, and I feel like that's the thing. If you're gonna see a movie, it's got to be one that has like a banger soundtrack. I think that's why. I mean, aside from the fact that I just love Lord of the Rings, that was another big selling point of me seeing. Because I saw Return of the King. I think I've said this. I saw Return of the King in theaters like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
Like no lie. Every time I would go to the mall, I would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see," and Mom would be like, "Okay, just fuck off. I don't care." Banger soundtrack, which Dune has. I'm like, all right, look, we gotta see. This has to be experienced on big screen. When we don't have IMAX here in town, that's fine. I would have preferred it in IMAX, and I'll tell y'all this: Part 3, I will be in an IMAX theater for it, 100%. Catch me there. So I go in, and like I said, it was Saturday night. I decided to go do it because I was like, I want to go on maybe a night where there's not as many people. Like last airing on a Saturday night. I bet that'll be pretty good. It was about half full. I go to the 7:20 viewing. I got there a little early, which good and bad. Good and bad, huh?
Too early? Perfect time.
I got there almost 30 minutes early to the start time, and it doesn't start for another 15 minutes after the start time.
Right. No, the previews start at the start time.
Right. So I mean, I didn't hate it, and I think it was good because I got there and I didn't have to stand in line very long, because that actually became a little bit of a problem. So I get ahead of myself. So I get there, little bit of a line, not too bad. And actually, when I first walked by, because when I went there, I was going to look for some new running shoes. So I went down to the shoe store, didn't find any, unfortunately. But I came back, and then there was a line. I was like, oh shit, I better get in. I'm gonna just go ahead and do it, because I'd sat outside on a bench and read my phone for a little bit. And I was like, whatever, I'll just go ahead, and I'm sitting here. Why don't I just go sit in there? And I just get the Coke, right? I was like, I'll get the popcorn a little bit closer to the actual start, right? Because I want it fresh, whatever. I want it nice and warm and buttery. So I just get the Coke. I go sit down, and like I said, I'm like 30 minutes early. Empty theater. And a lot smaller than I'd remembered. Turns out it was smaller than I'd remembered it, because this was one of like the smaller screening theaters, rooms, whatever. It's the ones across the hall that are the big ones. So I don't think I'd ever actually been in this one. So, okay, that explains that. Way different than the last time I'd been in there, which, by the way, the last movie I saw in theaters was Watchmen. If y'all want to look up what year that was, feel free. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And so I sit down. I'm like, oh, this chair is really comfortable. This is nice. This is nice. I guess I see what the hype is. On the armrest, I noticed the two little buttons, right? And I go, what do these do? And I press that son of a bitch, and I'm lost. I'm in a new world. This is a whole new experience, Mr. Right. Taylor Bickham, right? I'm all the way back. This is a goddamn lazy boy, boys. I'm fully reclined.
Yeah.
They weren't kidding. This is a reclining fucking chair. And I went, How long has this shit been going on? If I'd known this, I'd been here earlier. I mean, damn. So I'm already loving it. And the credits haven't even, I mean, not the credits, the trailers haven't even started. The pre-show, like, trivia thing on screen hasn't even started yet, right? I'm like, this is awesome. So finally, you know, very slowly people started filtering in. I would say, all in all, the theater got maybe halfway full. I'll say right off the bat, before I get into anything else, I do have a major detraction. Our theater serves booze. And someone behind me cracked open like a Miller High Life, like halfway through. And that's all I smelled for the rest of the movie was booze. Not a big fan of it, but that is what it is, though. It is what it is. So credits start rolling. Not credits. I keep saying credits. So the pre-game trivia shit starts rolling. I'm like, all right, I'll go get my popcorn. I duck out. Line's pretty far, and I go, well, I can wait. And go in and look. The line has gone out of the theater back into the mall. And I go, all right, whatever. I'll go wait. Trailer start. I go check again. Line, same length. I'm fuming. I'm sweating, in fact, because I'm like, I don't want to miss a second of this, what I assume is going to be keynote, right?
Right.
Go sit down. A couple more previews. Not really paying attention to them. And I'm like, all right, this has to be like the last preview. Check again. Not too long. I dive in. Medium popcorn. $6 by the way. But
that's movie theaters for you.
But this son bitch.
$6?
$6.
That's like kind of cheap for movie theater popcorn, actually.
Well, for a medium.
Okay.
And but when they say
these days,
well, hold on, yeah, because when they say medium, this is not medium. This is
it's medium.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's medium, but it ain't medium. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Wait, which side of this are you going? Is it a big old son bitch or is it a smoothie?
Big old son bitch. I couldn't eat all of it. Okay. I had to take it home. My family ate on it for 2 days. I ain't playing.
Yeah, the only difference between the medium and the large popcorn, if it's done right, is the width of the container.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big son bitch. It's just a little bit more narrow if it's a medium.
It is. It's in a bag, of course. I think the larges are maybe the more like solid one, which would have helped.
Or what have you.
Yeah. But man, I was kind of blown away. I was like, damn, this is a medium. Okay, so from now on, it'll be smalls for me. That's where we're on that. So all right.
And the small's gonna be like $5.50.
It's not a big difference. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a huge price difference. So you almost want to just go ahead and get the medium. And I tell you what, they filled that thing up. We got a bunch of teenagers working ours white. And they're pretty good fellers. I tell you what, they're a little rambunctious with that popcorn scooper, though. Shit was everywhere. If I was the manager, maybe getting a talking to. That's okay. Not my place to talk.
Are they silly little guys with the salt and the butter, or?
Well, I tell you what, ours is a la carte. DIY. DIY, yeah. Which I'm not a huge fan of. I like them to do it because they get a better like distribution. But you like them
to do it because last time I checked, you don't fucking work there.
Exactly. Yeah. And now I tell you what, also not a big popcorn topper guy, which they had several flavors of. Believe they had the ranch, believe they had the cheese. I might try the cheese next time though. Because there will.
I only do one thing when the only thing I'll ever mix movie theater popcorn with. It's Reese's Pieces.
Interesting.
You get that sweet and salty going. It's good stuff.
I can see that.
Because listen, and I say next time, spoiler alert, there will be a next time, gentlemen. There will be a next time. So listen, let's get on. I get back in there. Theater is, like I said, about half full up, but I mean, we're talking, I don't see a cell phone. I don't hear a word. I think the youngest person in there might have been like 12 or 13. No crying babies, right? Great. Love it. Not a big fan they didn't bring the lights all the way down, right? Because one of them was right in my peripheral vision upwards. So that kind of distracted me the whole time. Whatever, fine. Maybe next time I sit a little further up. I chose E6, which was kind of towards the back to the right. Know what I mean? And pretty happy with that. Kind of weird that when you choose your ticket, you have to choose where you sit, which I don't super love that, but I understand it's because of like the online ticketing system or whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, movie fires up. I should have watched the first one again just to refresh myself because I did forget a little bit of it. I know a fair bit of Dune lore. I watched the 84 version a few years ago. Loved it. So I mean, I know my Kwisatz Hatterats from my Bene Gesserit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I remember enough for the first one. I'm like, all right, I can just kind of wing it. So, man, what a great movie. What a great dude. Like, because here's the thing. I saw it happen in real time on Twitter. I saw a lot of people, like very level-headed people, come out, like day comes out, weekend comes out, and goes, best movie I've ever seen. This is fucking Kino. This is like lock for film of the year next year. And then slowly you get the Cole posters who come around and be like, actually, it's shit. If you didn't know, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's actually shit. Don't listen to him. Great movie. Does Zendaya suck in it? Yes. Do I want to hit her in the face with a hammer? Yes. But I can look past it. It's fine. It's whatever. Timothée Chalamet, as girly of a boy as he, I think is the perfect Paul Atreides, right? Like Kyle MacLachlan was also really good at it, but I think Paul is good, and Denis Villeneuve definitely has like a different vision that separates a little bit from Frank Herbert's vision, especially with the character Paul Atreides, because Timothée Chalamet is way less self-confident, right? And I've seen some think pieces on this that are a little insane, and I don't think I agree with them. They get into some crazy stuff. You know, that's fine. I see where you're coming from on that, but I don't.
Is he in the? Are you saying that he's in the longhouse?
He's a little longhouse, and that it takes a power outside of him to get out of the longhouse. But the way I see it, as long as you get out, you're out, right? What does it matter?
Right.
So
does he just need the right mid mystery meat to kind of show him the way?
Unfortunately, it's the mid mystery meat that might end up being his downfall. Right.
I see.
Well,
many such cases.
Him and 61 billion people. So, So yeah, this movie is great. Now, I will say the whole time I was a little tired. I did almost fall asleep a couple of times through this movie. Chair was too comfortable. I was very tired. I had been on a shoot earlier in the evening, walked around town a lot. So it was a little touch and go. I didn't though. I didn't. That's not to talk about the movie though, right? I'm not saying the movie was boring. There was a couple of moments of pacing, right? Hey, I nailed it perfectly, right? I took that piss break during the single romance scene. Nailed it, brother. Absolutely. I got back in there. I fist pumped. I was like, fuck yes. I got it. Because I didn't miss anything. I don't give a shit about the romance.
Right.
Fuck, I care about this mystery meat, you know?
Oh, true.
My one complaint of the movie though, and I don't think this is the movie's fault. I think it's my theater's fault. The mix, right?
Right.
A little too loud, and a lot. If I didn't know the plot already, I would have been very lost, right? Because a lot of dialogue went like too mumbly, right? A little too quiet. Couldn't make it out. Almost think I would have like benefited from the movie having subtitles.
I've had a couple movie experiences in recent years where I just felt like the audio was not the effects are fine, but like the dialogue was just like
what I think it comes down to, especially this. I think because it was filmed for IMAX, I think that might have been the issue. I think because it was mixed and filmed for IMAX, to have watched it in not only not like an enhanced experience, but literally just a basic ass theater that probably has not changed its fundamentals in 40 years, right? That's partly the problem. But the soundtrack of y'all have heard it. Y'all know the soundtrack. Y'all know that score. It's outstanding. The movie was great. Engaged the whole time. So many great scenes, right? Like there's a scene where because the whole movie they're on Arrakis and it's it's the desert. It's all these very Arabic themes, architecture and stuff. And then there's this smash cut to the Harkonnen home planet, right? Where whole thing's shot in black and white, by the way. Whole sequence of black and white. The architecture is very postmodern, like Art Deco style. It felt like a fever dream. It honestly felt like a fever dream. Right. To the point that I was almost getting uncomfortable with it. I was like, oh shit, this is weird. If anyone's seen the first one, which I know Devin hasn't. I don't think Tim or Tony has.
No.
Okay. Well, the Harkonnens are the weird. Okay. Well, y'all have seen the trailers. Y'all have seen David Bautista like painted white, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what all Harkonnens look like. They're all white and
They're all
completely.
Dave Bautista. That's sick.
No. They're just all like
All
painted.
Batista, and they're all white based.
They're all white and they're all like hairless and they just look freaky as hell. It's such a weird aesthetic. So like imagine a whole planet of these freaks all chanting and like bloodthirsty. So weird. Do I?
So it's Haiti.
I said white.
Yeah, wrong color, but close enough, I guess.
Well, you barbecue something long enough.
Right.
True. So let's see. Loved the final battle sequence. That was cool. Here is a little bit of a complaint I have actually. Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken plays the Emperor, who in the first one and through he showed in the first part of the second one, but in the first one it's like the Emperor is like, oh, he's the big bad, right? And then it's Christopher fucking Walken. Like, I'm sorry, I don't take Christopher Walken seriously, right? Like, he's kind of a goofy guy. He has a goofy look. He has a goofy, like, demeanor. I just don't take him seriously. So him and Zendaya are, like, the two things that took me out of it the most. Like, I don't know if I disagree with the casting of either of them, really. But it took something away from me.
Right.
So I didn't love that. He was good. But it's just, that's my preconceived, like, thing from it. So I didn't like that. I did like the final battle where it's like they were using like atomic weapons and like riding sandworms in like this. It's so funny because at no point in like a lot of the Dune stuff is it ever feel like a fair fight. Like in the first one, obviously the Harkonnen purge of House Atreides, like, you know, like that's just absolutely, you know, the most power imbalance thing in the whole movie. And then the big fight, it's like, oh shit, oh god, I wonder who's gonna win this. The people with like atomic bombs and giant sandworms, or the guys just standing in the middle of this desert. Gee golly, it can go either way. Who knows?
Right.
It was still really great to watch. And this is after like Paul Atreides has his awakening, and he's like, oh shit, I'm him, right?
Right.
Because the whole movie is about like, am I him? Am I? And then at the end, he's like, yeah, I'm him. So that was really cool. I love the scene because, and it was funny having seen the 1984 version, and then having, because this one is so much better. When the Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother is like, you know, it's like, oh, you blah blah, and he goes silence, and she's just like, oh fuck. Love that. That's such a good one. I'm gonna do something bold here, boys.
Right.
Is that right?
Absolute. I'm giving this an absolute Kino.
Okay.
Not just Kino. Because my scale is what? It's Kino, mid, slop, right? Top to bottom. It's not just Kino. It's absolute Kino. It's absolute cinema.
Ooh, wow.
Arguably, easily one of the best movies I have seen in a long time of newly released stuff. Now, obviously, you know, watch older stuff and it's been absolute Kino, but like it's a must see. Like, and like Devin, we were talking about it earlier, like, you got to go see this, dog, because y'all have the Regal Pinnacle, right, which has IMAX. Y'all have to go.
I think our AMC here has IMAX.
It might. I don't. I know the Westtown Regal doesn't. In the mall in Farragut, the Pinnacle does. The AMC might. Yeah, you're right. I really don't know. But honestly, the experience of going to the Pinnacle, I think that's a really nice theater. Like, that's one of the best I've ever seen, but that's a low bar, to be fair. So yeah, the official Beefy Boy rating for Dune 2. Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to topple it. I will tell you what's not gonna fucking topple it. Pirates of the Caribbean and World's End.
Okay.
Now,
No.
I'm just gonna kind of hit the high notes of this one because, you know, it's whatever.
Wow.
Let's see. I remember saying I loved the first one, and then Dead Man's Chest, I was like, it just felt like a setup for the third one. I don't want to say they fumbled the bag with the third one, but I felt like it could have been way better. It was fun to watch. I was engaged the whole time. obviously cinematography is great. The sound was, I felt like they didn't play the score enough, you know? Like, and maybe that was like a stylistic choice because like a lot of the movie is like, oh shit, we're like getting owned, right? And then they only play it at the climax after it, but like that, it was just a choice I didn't really agree with. I thought the characters started to drag on a little bit. Like I started getting bored of Elizabeth. The only like engaging character was Barbossa, I think, which is kind of wild to say. I liked Barbossa a lot. Will's storyline never really made a lot of sense. Like, I don't know. It felt really convoluted and like contrived. I didn't like it. Obviously, the only bright spot of the entire movie. What was it?
Jack?
Johnny Depp. Yeah. Which is even crazier to me thinking about they're going to try and do Pirate 6 without him, right?
Right.
I don't even know how.
It's not going to work.
It won't. That's going to be the biggest flop in history. There's no way to do it. He is Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Like, because they replace pretty much every character at some point in like, because the next couple of films or whatever, because, you know, Elizabeth and William are gone.
Yeah, they basically give everybody else like an ending, and then he still has the like, oh, I want the Fountain of Youth now thing. So
right, and because he is the damn show. It was great, man. It was good, but man, and like even though like because you accept Pirates of the Caribbean as goofy and it's unrealistic, and it's like you eye roll at some of the battles, but even like that Maelstrom fight at the very end, I was like, oh god. And then like them getting married in the middle of it, I was like, oh god, come on.
I mean, I think that part was supposed to be a little like,
yeah, I mean, I understand,
a little whimsical, you know.
I understand, but it's just the problem is, and this is I think the whole thing that had me up in arms about it was they tried to play too much of it straight up to that point.
Yeah,
like it was definitely one of the more serious of the three, because I mean it starts out with him literally executing a child, right?
That's true. Yeah,
and it's like, shit, this is dark. And then like there's a bunch of themes of like death. Elizabeth's dad dies. There's that whole sequence, like, good lord. And then not too long later, it's like we're having like this like silly whimsical sword fight while we get married. I'm like, this is like a disconnect, right?
Right.
And then there's like the whole love thing between Calypso and Davy Jones, which, by the way, I never understood why Sao Fang thought that Elizabeth was Calypso. Did I miss something?
Maybe just some.
Or was he just retarded?
I don't remember that story beat, right? But like,
I don't either.
I know it's like
I just watched it. I watched it 24 hours ago. Yeah, that's why he wants her. Well, he doesn't abduct her. He gets her as a deal. And then he gets her, and he calls her Calypso. And I'm like, wait, what? Because like, even if you hadn't told me that the black girl was Calypso, it was not. They weren't hiding it that deeply, right? Like even in the second one, I think you figure out she's the one that Davy Jones loved, because I think they showed her locket at the end of the, or no, not the end of in the middle of the second one, right? When they go there to find out about the heart, they show the locket, and it was pretty easy to make a one-to-one connection. It's like, oh, okay. And then when he mentions something about Calypso, it's like, oh, okay, well, she's Calypso. So then they're like, I think that was maybe them trying to make up for that. Maybe that's what it was. Right. And it was a really poorly attempt at trying to make up for that, because they made it a little too obvious she was Calypso, right?
Yeah.
Well, not even just that. It's like, oh yeah, we've got this random girl here who can like bring people back from the dead, and she has like strange superpowers. Don't worry about it. She's definitely not gonna play a bigger part. Don't worry about it. I was like, bro, come on. No.
Right.
I
thought of movie 3, the part that I remember most is the early sequence of just like Jack Sparrow in like the like kind of whatever the
David Jones
pirate
locker.
afterlife. Yeah, David Jones locker. Like just like the kind of like surreal sequence there with him was kind of memorable.
So far, yeah, I like that because he's having like the schizo thing, and you probably watched it when you were a fair bit younger, right?
Yeah.
So being an adult and watching it, it's very funny to have noticed there's two very extremely dark, fucked up moments in the trilogy, right? The first one is in the first movie where they're essentially just about to gang rape Elizabeth, right?
Right.
Like that's what's about to happen. We all know. We all know what was about to happen. There's a moment in the third one where it's implied Jack maybe is about to fuck a goat.
Oh, they turned to Muslim?
What? Not my brother and Allah during
I don't remember
Ramadan.
that part, but you know.
Well, it's in the crazy, and there's a goat standing there, and he keeps like sliding over to it with like eyes, right? Do you not remember that?
Yeah. I can't say I remember that.
Yeah. I was watching it, I was like, are we implying what I think we're implying? That's weird. Okay, whatever. So it's a kid's movie, and there was just almost bestiality and gang rape. Kind of weird. Right. Which, by the way, keep in mind, in the first one, Keira Knightley was still a teenager, so just saying. Right.
Oh, what year did this one come out? Like
2007.
All right. I mean, I feel like you might be getting towards the years where, like, 2008 stuff started taking over.
Right. I was gonna say that I didn't enjoy. So that's the whole thing. Like I don't enjoy, and well, didn't. It's kind of over, but I didn't enjoy all the Elizabeth glazing. Right?
She does get like that's the closest they get to the kind of going overboard with the girl power stuff.
Yeah, when they girl bossed her fully in 3. Right? Like I liked when she was like I don't even say reluctant, but like the failed girl boss, right? Because I think that was one of my points in 1 that I liked so much about her, right? That it's like she has no actual power of her own. It's only through like the power that her dad is powerful, right? Mm-hmm. That she succeeds. And then even in 2, like remember the whole that goofy ass battle sequence on the sandbar, remember? And she's just sitting there literally pouting, like trying to like fake faint or whatever to get them to stop, and they're not even paying it. Like that's good. Yeah. But they send her full girl boss in the 3rd one, like, oh, now she's the pirate queen for some reason. It's like, huh? I don't know. I didn't like that. Maybe it's just because I'm a misogynist, but
well, I mean, I guess at least like the plot beats for it kind of makes sense in terms of it being like she kind of fails her way up to it, right? Like first she gets declared. She gets declared by the Chinese guy or whatever, the Singaporean guy, that she gets to like be his successor, right? And then they get to the whole parlay pirate king meeting thing, and it's like she only gets there because like Jack knows there has to be a tiebreaker, right? And he just like kind of just throws in the towel to make sure
I could see that. It's one of those things where like you could see it being written that way, but then when it really started to get fleshed out, they tried to girl boss it real hard, right? Because then it's like later on she gets this whole like ooh-rah speech, and like everyone's like, fly the colors, all that. That was very cringe. Weirdly enough, I feel like Calypso, of the women characters, Calypso was better written, right?
Yeah.
Because like, and I don't know if she shows up later on. Don't tell me, but
I haven't watched any movie past the 3rd one. So
okay. So you're blind as well. I feel like they just kind of she's just gone, right? Which I did think was kind of weird. And Davy Jones as well. There was never really a resolution to that. I guess there kind of was when they were in the brig, and he was like, "I'll always love you regardless." So yeah, maybe.
Well, I figure Davy Jones is just straight up dead, right? Like,
well, I mean, who knows? I don't.
It's Davy Jones, brother.
Yeah, it's Davy Jones, man. Well, he does. He loses. Yeah, he was released, but then he's in the act. I don't know. What I'm saying though is, I gotta say, even with all my complaints, right, I was still kind of left wanting more. So I think I'm gonna watch the next 2 actually.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think because I never watched past that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch them. The next one is The Fountain of Youth. It sounds pretty interesting. And then the one after that is I don't quite know what it is. It's about like the Spanish or something. There was another thing I want to say, and this goes back to the first one. They did a good job of, and if it was done today and in the 6th one, that probably they might, they never really tackled like any like slavery, colonialism, dumb bullshit or whatever. And like they almost like went out of their way to avoid like shitting on the British. Because the main antagonist of the second one, right, is the East Empire Trading Company, which was not the British. It was a corporation. It's a very early form of a corporation. Right. They never really, like, the Redcoats were, even like I said in the first one, I feel like they did a really good job of keeping themselves from turning the British into cartoony villains, right? They're fairly competent, and the villain, air quotes, like he's relatable. He's still relatable, and his motives are kind of pure-ish. And at the end, he's not unreasonable, right? Like, he's like, I've been bested. Elizabeth doesn't love me. Okay, I concede. And even you, the terrible, like, wanted pirate, yeah, I'll give you a day's head start. All right, go ahead.
All right.
I kind of don't like what they did to him in the second one. And then the third one, I felt like they'd ridden him into such corner that they just had to sacrifice him. So it was just, at that point, it was just like, whatever.
Right. Actually, it's a little weird how he just like gets straight up killed. You know, like
Yeah, and I didn't really understand that whole like the angle with Bill Turner, right? Like why did he like go senile? I know he was like melding. I know because he'd been locked into the brig, he was starting to go like he was starting to meld into the ship.
I would definitely say that like one of the parts that drags the most of the trilogy is the Bill Turner just arc in general. I would say.
Honestly, if his dad was, because I don't think Will Turner's whole dichotomy between choosing Elizabeth or his dad really had that much weight at any point, and I feel like you could have ridden all that perfectly to just him trying to save Elizabeth. In fact, you could have even done a good bit there. It's like, I'm trying to save Elizabeth despite Elizabeth, right? Because she had her own machinations. I just don't feel like the dad. I feel like the dad could have been a good entry into that, but I feel like the dad could have died at some point in 2 to raise his emotional stakes and to like put him in a certain emotional state. But I just feel like his presence in 3 just it didn't mean anything. He just felt like he was in the way, honestly, for a lot of it. Yeah. Even at the very end, where it's like, I think they're like together, and it's like, oh, I'm still in your service, son. It's like,
yeah.
You could have replaced him with literally any of the crew. You could have. It's.
Right. So, I think the main thing that I hear talked about with regards to that plot line is the liar's dice scene. I've seen like a really autistic breakdown of how the game actually works on YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either, and I didn't care to, so just ignored it.
Apparently, it's a real game that has actual rules, and apparently the scene's better if you understand the rules. But like nobody has ever heard of that fucking game before. So
yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out because it's very jarring, right? So the guy who played Bill Turner, Stellan Skarsgård, right, is the same guy that plays Baron Harkonnen in Dune 2. So watching him go from Baron Harkonnen, which is like this obese like creature who literally can't walk. He literally can't stand under his own weight because he's so like
Based?
He's so genetically engineered and like obese that he has to just like levitate the whole time, and he's just this absolute irredeemable monster to this like senile, feeble, like half fish creature guy. Was very strange. He's a great actor, by the way. Stellan Skarsgård is really good. He's 72, by the way. He's still got it, man. He's still got it. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I am going to have to give Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End mid. It's not slop. It's not slop, but it ain't Kino. It is definitely mid. So,
well, and I will say, and I'll grant them this: endings are difficult. Many series have struggled.
It is very, and I guess if we put it into the context of like other big things that have not nailed their endings, it's definitely one of the better flubbed endings.
Yeah, I mean, look, they can't all be Lord of the Rings, right?
They can't all be Lord of the Rings, no. And I will say, you're right. Everyone got a good, happy-ish ending. Right.
Yeah, at least they got conclusions. Like,
right.
It was pretty wrapped up pretty neatly. But yeah, no,
I just it felt like a lot of bags were fumbled in the making of that film. So, but it is what it is. Anyway, hey, big week of movie, big week of theater. I'm a movie guy again.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a movie guy again.
Certainly seems that way.
Well, I tell y'all what, I was talking about going again. I'm going back Tuesday to watch Dune again.
Yep.
No lie.
He's lost in the dunes.
I'm going to go see it again. March 28th, the new Kong Godzilla movie comes out. Definitely 100% seeing that. There's a couple other things. Well, they're fighting together, this one.
Right, but
I'm still, it's Godzilla, easy. That's not even a question, bro.
Okay. Good.
Gojira? That's my dude right there.
Yeah, you think he's going to support an ape?
Although I will say, you know what sold me on this movie?
Some have called him an ape himself.
King Kong gets like a fucking robot fist.
That's cool. Does he like lose his fist in the last movie or something?
I think it's just because in the I think the point was like Kong, like, because he jobs a little, right? Because I mean, honestly, in power scales, they're close, but Godzilla is just like, come on.
He's Gojira.
And I want to say Kong got his ass kicked. We watched that movie actually as a group.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I want to say he got his ass kicked before they brought out Mechagodzilla. He was getting owned, right? He was on the mat.
Yeah, didn't they have to like do some like gay like power of friendship thing where like the kid like brought him back to life or something after he
something.
fucking basically got killed.
Yeah. Kong is definitely like punching above his weight class in this movie series, and that's why they give him the robot fist, right? Because it's like to be on par with Godzilla, he literally has to. Yeah. Man, I tell you what,
Mechagodzilla. Would you describe him as a bit of a Logan Paul with the titanium fist?
A little bit, yeah. Man, Mechagodzilla was so cool. That was a really cool. Like, I know that movie was just like unrepentant slop, but sometimes when slop is done so well, knowing it's slop, it comes up a little. It's not Kino. It's solidly mid, but it's like this is just
It's hard for like a movie about big things fighting to really be like
bad,
strictly unenjoyable.
Yeah.
There have been good examples of it being executed particularly well too. Like I thought the first Pacific Rim movie, for example,
Oh
was
my
like,
God,
was both pleasing and good. You know,
well,
like,
it was well written, right?
Yeah,
it was well
Unfortunately,
written.
the sequels didn't really follow suit. But
and I mean that scene with Idris Elba, like we're canceling the apocalypse. I was like, fuck, bro, fuck yes, let's go, man.
Yeah,
Idris, I like Idris. He's a really good actor, man.
Yeah. He's one of the good ones.
Well, that's one of those like, that's why I don't get down with a lot of this shit. It's like, oh, there's a brown person in my movie. It's like, yeah, but some of them are good.
Well, if they're Idris Elba,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Have you ever heard of a little man called Sidney Poitier?
Who?
No.
Oh, y'all haven't? Okay, well that's
No.
kind of messed up.
I have.
Of course you have, because you're cultured, Tim.
I'm more cultured than you, and I haven't heard of him.
Sidney Poitier.
I was looking at.
Poitier.
I was on
Get his ass.
Google looking at the cast of Godzilla versus Kong, like just when I googled the movie.
Oh,
and,
you
like,
retarded fucker. Not you, me. Go ahead.
Well, I was just like amused by the third picture on this list. Just like she looks so out of place in this cast.
What
In side chat, just like
Okay.
this Julian Dennison person. Is that? I think.
What
that's the
movie is
girl.
this from?
This is from Godzilla versus Kong. It says.
Millie Bobby
you were
Brown
on.
was in that? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. This is starting to come back.
I saw this Julian individual. It's like they look like a random like fucking like
I
really
don't that can't-
homely like.
That can't be them, because it's like the name is Josh Valentine. That has to be like a wrong picture.
I think okay, so I think it's actually a boy who just happens to be fat to the point of looking kind of like a girl. Okay.
Okay, so this is just a tough scene all around.
Yeah. I just thought the picture was really unfortunate for like amongst the rest of the cast.
Wow. Anyway, good movies all around. We got anything else? I don't know if y'all saw. I want to start trying to get us to 2 hours. I feel like 3 drags on a little.
Well, it's easier too when we're having like a slow period, you know, like we don't have as.
Here's the thing. I don't know about hard limits, but I also don't know that we need to force ourselves to get to 3 hours.
Right. I'm saying like let's try and in the planning phase through the week, not overload ourselves to the point that we're going to run over 2 hours. But I'm not. I'm also not saying like because it's 1:53 right now. I'm not saying like we have to stop right now, but we are kind of out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I have a couple of other things, but as looking at them, I don't actually care about them anymore. So.
Well, I mean, you know, you can bring them up.
Based.
I was gonna talk about the new Fortnite season's really good.
Yeah.
The only reason I was gonna bring that up, was to just shame you into playing, Devin.
Ooh.
It's good.
Have you
It's
considered
really
a
good.
good game Apex Legends and stuff?
Okay, well, he's not going to play that one either, so. It's really good this season. Me and Bear were having a lot of fun the other day, and we would really like it if we could trios and even, hey, get this, quads.
Well, there's other people in the group who would play with you guys.
There
I'm
are
pretty
not.
sure.
There is no group, remember?
But you know what I'm saying. I mean, if Bear could be dragged into it in Beefy Boys, you can
Well,
get
I'm
others.
only dragging Bear into it because I like Bear.
I'm sure, but you don't hate Alex, right?
I don't, but he's kind of inconsistent. I guess I could get Alex in. That's still only 3 people, though. We need a 4th.
We'll see.
Why are you so lazy? Why are you literally the laziest person I know?
Not wanting to play a video game isn't like a laziness thing necessarily.
Yes, it is.
Like maybe video games just suck.
Not doing what I want you to do is a laziness thing.
Fortnite is a bad game, so I can't blame you there.
True.
Whatever. Maybe I'll poach someone from photo friends.
They do have Fortnite players in there, so.
Yeah, but one of them's Marshall, so. You know what I mean?
I feel like you might warm up to him if he plays Fortnite with you.
Yeah, I like Marshall enough, but he does that like that cringe centrist bullshit too much.
Yeah, he does. Which is weird because I feel like he's the type of guy that you would think would be like 1488 cringe, but he's not.
Well, there's a couple
of
people over there who do that whole like they're really based on a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna name names, but they do a lot of like it's like oh and then you like get into the weeds with them and they're like, oh this is just libertarianism. What are we doing here?
Right. Which, yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I think I maybe underestimated just based on the exposure we've had to people in the world that, like, that apparently there is still a base for libertarianism. I thought they were just done for, I thought nobody took that shit seriously anymore. But apparently, at least online, and, like, I will concede this, when you get into an artsy space, I feel like you're more likely to run into that, you know? Like, that's one of our struggles, right, is because people who think like us typically aren't as interested in arts, right? Like that's just...
Yeah, we are definitely strange creatures in our space because we are like weirdly to the right, but also like heavily artistic in several different ways.
Right.
You we're both photographers, but then you're kind of like a music production guy a little bit. I'm heavy into writing, so it's like it's not really, those aren't really what is considered. Well, maybe once upon a time it was right-wing traits, but not really anymore.
You gotta bring it back. You gotta bring back, the white man's creativity, right? You gotta restore it. But hey, even among the people in there who do this interest thing, though, right? Like, even for them, it's like they're kind of walking on eggshells around other artsy types, right? Because like even that is extreme. Because these days it's like if you don't fucking, suck troon dick or whatever, you're like too far right for artist spaces,
yeah, you Nazi chud.
Yeah.
Well, I just got 2 golden roses, so.
Yeah.
Isn't that a country song?
2 gold in a row?
No, 2 dozen Yeah, it's 2 dozen roses. Who's that by? Shenandoah, yeah. What y'all know about Shenandoah? Tim knows Shenandoah, I bet.
Not really my bag.
Shenandoah, New York was one of my rival high schools. So
There you go.
We kind of got beef.
All right, well, listen.
Yeah, he was Shenandoah. Okay.
What did we learn on the show tonight, boys?
What did I learn?
I learned that Tay was unfortunately a little disappointed by the 3rd Pirates movie.
That's fair.
It's sad, but I understand.
That's fair. Tony?
I learned that Tay didn't know they had like full ass exotic recliners in movie theaters.
That is true. I did not know that.
True.
Tim?
Well, I'm certainly no closer to getting into photography than I was when I first started this.
I'll give you some good suggestions.
We'll help you.
Come
We'll
on.
help you.
Yeah, just keep up with us. We'll guide you.
Y'all can talk after the
just spend $1,500.
Y'all can talk after the show and get into a little more in depth.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys have some things to get into after the show. We're
gonna have a quick little. You and I, Devin, are gonna have a quick little tay-to-tay.
What does that even mean? Tay-to-tay. What does that mean?
I mean, it means a little chin wagging. So, I learned that
is a chin wagon.
Chin wagging.
That's not what you said.
It 100% is.
That's
Listen, not the point. Anyway, I learned that Henry Ford was a soy boy. Thank you for that, Tim.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, and I also learned the same thing I learn every week. We will be back next week, probably. I'm running the numbers right now, actually.
They might take us down after this
I
week.
think we did say some very controversial shit tonight. So maybe
I think a lot of Zoomoids out there might be upset with your comments on Zendaya or whatever her name is.
Zayenda's mid.
I think that's like the big. I think that's like the
Zendaya's
big,
mid.
like Coomer actress these days. That's really hyped
Which is
up.
crazy because
It's crazy.
she has zero sex appeal.
Right,
Zero.
it's like the Wendy's girl like mogged her, for example. Like she's not impressive.
The Wendy's girl.
The Wendy's girl that I was talking about, the girl that was at the window who I said was
Oh
kinda
yeah,
cute.
yeah. Like
Well, actually,
she's.
I think this year's Coomer girl is Sydney Sweeney, but like,
Oh God.
Well,
bro.
Sydney Sweeney can
Girl
kind of
was
get it
big.
though.
Woo!
right? I get
Lord
that
Almighty.
one. But I think the previous 2 years or whatever, I think she was in like the Spider-Man movies or something. Zendaya
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
big because of that.
I don't get it. Like when she tries really, really hard, she's like a 5'7".
Yeah, she's like the definition of okay.
Yeah, I saw her completely dolled up, like showing a little bit of under boob, designer clothes, and I just went, you know. I just don't. I do get it, but this is not the platform for me to discuss that. Anyway, yeah. Next week, big one, number 95.
No.
Yeah. So, all right. Someone say something
You know what we
stupid.
didn't talk about?
Oh, what?
I kind of want to talk about.
Oh,
Because I feel like I want to talk about the whole like British princess or whatever that's probably dead.
Oh, that's yeah.
that is weird. What's going on there?
Right. I did read a little bit about that in Beefy Boys, and it's like what she's been apparently possibly unaccounted for, and they posted an article and it was using a photo that had been heavily manipulated, I guess.
Right.
So
then-
like I think she's been like not accounted for like 2 months or something like that. Like kind of a hot minute for like I guess a British royal.
It was Pippa, right? Was she the?
No, it's the main one.
Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the important one, the woman who might be Queen Regent here in a couple of months.
Right.
If she's still alive.
Yeah, if she's still alive.
She's dead.
It's not great
But,
for the accusations.
Yeah, so
Or she's
they
at least in a coma.
But from what?
Botched surgery.
Oh, is that the? Oh,
Well,
okay.
no, I saw that they had her go through a surgery because she was in a coma.
I wonder what the
And
motive
like-
what the motive would be in
The hot
hiding
theory is the hot theory is the reason she was in a coma might be the reasons that the British royals would not want getting out, like a drug overdose of some sort. But
it. Right. That would make sense. Oh well. Tough times for the royal family, I will say, if true.
Well, yeah, and especially with Charles apparently on death's door. Fucking hell, man.
I guess
He's been on
God
death's
was
door
not
for a
saving
long
that
time,
king.
dude.
Huh?
Yeah, but he has a
Inbred
straight
look-
up tumor now.
That inbred looking son bitch.
Oh, that's not true.
Really?
That's just
I mean,
that's
I'm pretty sure
that's
it's
just
quite literally true.
no, that's just how British people look.
No, he's quite literally inbred.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tolerate any accusations toward His Majesty the King. So,
Really?
yep, I
Well,
really am.
one of your royals is like missing and possibly dead. so-
Okay, well, that's your opinion, and you're Italian, so
And they did use a photo of her from 2023 to say she's totally fine and alive. So I mean,
okay.
that kind of
well,
explains
hey,
it all.
the thing is, we're mysterious people. Our little island, it's a strange little place. We're silly little guys. So why don't you get off our fucking backs? Why don't you go make a pizza?
Oh.
You know what I learned about Italy today?
What'd you learn about Italy today?
They do meatballs the same way as me. Put them on the side.
All
Yeah, but
right.
don't they actually eat the sauce?
Nope,
though,
nope, nope, nope,
motherfucker?
nope, nope, nope,
They
nope,
don't.
no, 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 no,
Listen,
no,
I'm
no,
just-
no, 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 no,
Just
no,
saying,
no,
this is
no, no, no.
this is a true
Nope,
fact. They don't
nope,
put the meatballs
nope.
on the pasta. 'cause
No,
they're
don't.
gonna
Hey,
eat
that's
it.
cool. Hey, great. Thanks. Someone sign us off.
Beefy Buccaneers.
Thank God. Fucking hell.